So these women, her aunts, her cousins, her generations surrounded her, and these women shared their stories. And I know intimately some of their stories appear to be very tragic, but they infused love into my mother. The second stage of Zola is talking about your spirituality. Where does that come from? How do you live it? How is it a part of your life? Those women they were praying women, because I knew them. They were praying women, and that was their spiritual message that they gave my mother. The third session of Zola talks about the messages from your family of origin. How do you handle crisis in your life? What happens to you, and what happens to those around you when there's a crisis? Those women and those men in our family came together. The men had jobs, they were holding it down. The women would come and infuse this love into my mother. My grandmother said my mother stayed in bed until her 8th month of pregnancy. Women were combing her hair, washing her body, feeding her, nourishing her, and loving her. The fourth session, we talk about you have to have a conversation with your lost loved object. So my mother began to talk about the fact that the things that she had lost, the relationship and all of these things. And then your 5th session is about forgiveness. My mother had to figure out how was she going to forgive my father so that she could get up out of that bed and move forward with her life. And there was the love of these people that were around her, that infused her, that allowed her to be able to do that. The 6th session, we talk about legacy. What are you going to do to honor this challenge, to honor these life lessons? What are you going to do? So her thing was, I'm going to get up out of this bed, and I'm going to make sure that my children have everything that they need in life. Okay? And so the 7th session of Zola is the celebration. We celebrate community. We celebrate the fact that we have shared all of these things, and you have come together as a community, as a loving community to each other, and you get an identity. You become Zola warriors, or you become Zola princesses, or whatever it is. You take on a name. And so in that 7th session of my mother's experience, the celebration was me. I was born. And what do they do when babies are born? Yay! Isn't she lovely? So I experienced that. It was preordained in my DNA that I was going to come up with this book, create a nonprofit, to begin to go from community to community, to give people an opportunity to tell their stories.